Hi children, after a long back, I hope you are able to see me. So I hope you have enjoyed your vacation in a better way. But now it is time to concentrate on our studies. And as a part of it, I would like to handle the subject called statistics in the mathematics. So this is a very important chapter for you in order to score the marks in your ensuing exams. So I hope you all will concentrate on the topic well and you will understand well and you will note down it and go through the matter that has been explained to you once again and again. And if at all if you find any sort of doubts, you may directly contact to me any time. Okay, now as I said earlier, the topic of today is statistics. So the very meaning of the word statistics is that it is a study, a meaningful study of extraction of the data. We collect the data here and we used to put it in a proper way and then we used to study it. So this is how we can understand the very meaning of the word called statistics. And now in this statistics, in your earlier class, you might have learned much about it. But here, for your 10th class, we shall be concentrating on the mean first, and then median, and then mode. These are the very three important topics which we are going to deal for you in the 10th class. And again, coming to mean, we have different types of mean here. First we will be studying about the mean for ungrouped data, mean for grouped data, and then in grouped data mean we will be studying different methods how we calculate the mean. So first of all, try to know the meaning of the word mean. Mean, it is average. Average in the sense it is sum of the values of the observations divided by the number of observations. Once again I am going to repeat, sum of the values of the observations divided by the number of observations. Okay, I will put it on the board for the sake of your convenience. So how do we write the mean here? Mean can be written as sum of the values of the observations divided by the total number of observations. Total number of observations. Here we use the letter X bar to write the mean. To write the mean. Now let us assume that the observations are x1, x2, x3, and so on, xn. And now their frequencies are f1, f2, f3, and so on up to say fn. So now to get the mean here, we write it as x bar is equal to, see, f1 into x1 plus f2 into x2 plus f3 into x3 plus and so on plus fn into xn divided by the total number of observations, that is f1 plus f2 plus f3 plus and so on plus fn. Now this is a lengthier one if you observe carefully. So to remember it, we write in a condensed form or the short form. So we write here like this: sigma fi xi by sigma fi. I have made use of a letter called sigma here. So it is a Greek letter called sigma. So in general we use this letter to represent the summation, sum of. So sum of fi xi divided by sum of fi. I may take any value. If I give I is equal to 1 here, so then this becomes f1 x1 by f1, like that. If I give f2, then it becomes f2 x2 by f2, like that. So this is how we represent the formula for mean. So we call it, how we read, see, x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi. So this is the formula to find the mean of ungrouped data. So what is this? This is a formula to find the mean of ungrouped data. Now here we have a problem. See, on the board already I have written to you as it is a lengthier one. So now this is marks scored by the students, and this is the number of students. So one student has scored 10 marks, the other student, one more student has scored 20 marks, and so on. 3 students have scored 50 marks. Like that the data has been collected here. Now we shall try to find the mean of this particular data using the formula for ungrouped mean. So what is the formula? Once again, let us recall it. X bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi. So now here we shall be using this formula to find the mean of this particular data. Okay. Now let us first write down the table for this one. Okay, students. So now once again, as I told to you, we shall be finding the mean for the ungrouped data. Now here on one side you find marks. So we shall write it as, say, xi. Then again number of students on the other side. So we shall write it as fi. So representing the frequency here. We shall be using one more column called fi xi. So very simple. So now 10 into 1 it is 10. Then 20 into 1 it is 20. Then 36 into 3, 3 6 18. Then 3 3 is 9 10, 108. 40 into 4 160. Then 50 into 3 150. 56 into 2, 2 6 12, 2 5 7 11 again. Then 60 into 4 240. Then 70 into 4 280. Likewise 72 into 1 72. 80 into 1 80. Then 88 into 2, 2 8 16. 2 8 16 plus 1 it is 17. Then 92 into 3 into 6. 3 9 27. Then again 95 into 1 it is 95. So this is how I have got a third column. See this one, first column and this second column, these both they are from the given problem. Okay, we copy this as it is. And what we are doing here is we are just making out a third column and writing it as fi into xi. So you know how we have got fi xi. Multiplying, just multiplying one with the other. The values of one side with the values of the other side. Now add all this. What you get is called sigma fi xi. Sigma fi xi. Sum of fi xi. So this is what is called sigma fi xi. Now if you add all together, this is some 1779. 1779. Okay. Likewise you add these values. So what do you get here? If you add all these, you will get 30. So this is 30. And what is this 30? This 30 is sigma fi. Sum of all the frequencies. Sum of all the frequencies. Now this is sum of all the values of fi xi. So we have got these two values. Now recall the formula to find the mean of ungrouped data. So So what is that? X bar is equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Now we have these two values with us. So it is 1779 divided by 30. So very simple calculation here. So how many times you can cancel this one? 30. This is one time. This is almost how many times? If we calculate for 5 times, 150. So 35 is 150. So what about the balance here? We are left with some 27 here. 27. So again, how many times this is 279? 279. You see how many times we can cancel this one? Some 9 times if we take. So 9 times. So 9 into 30 is 270. So how much we are left with again? We are left with 9. So put a dot here. So put 0 here. So 30 into 3 times. So this is 59.3. So 59.3 is the mean of the given data here using the method called mean for ungrouped data. Mean for ungrouped data. What is the data? Once again try to recall. It is marks. Okay. Scored by how many students? 30 students in a class. Marks scored by 30 students. Okay. So for this data we have found the mean. So this method of finding the mean is called mean for ungrouped data. Now here the data is very lengthier one. So in order to make easier, we try to condense the matter of the data and then we try to adopt some other method to find the mean. Okay. Now you have seen that this is a very lengthier method. So even sometimes the data will be still large. So finding the mean in this way it becomes a very tedious process. So now we have to make this condense or we have to shorten this so that we can use the, we can find the mean in a simple way. Okay. So now I shall try to teach to you another way of finding the mean by grouping the data that is already given to us. Okay. So now I hope you can copy down this easily. So if you have copied, then I shall go to the next method of finding the mean. So how do I find the mean in the next method? I just try to group the data. Now you see how I am going to group this data and shorten or condense this data. Okay children, we have just now studied how we can find the mean of ungrouped data. And we have also witnessed the problem that we come across while doing so. Okay. So now to avoid that problem, we have another method of finding the mean. See, just here we make groups and these groups we call them as a class interval. So now here I have made a class interval of 10 to 25. Okay. So here length of the class is 15. Length of the each class is 15. So in this way I have made a class interval. So then again this column it is frequency. So frequency as usual this is copied from the given table. Okay. Now here if you observe carefully we have two more columns here. So one is called class marks. I have written it as xi and the last column is fi xi. Okay. Now let us see how we get this class marks. So to get the class marks, what we do is we add the lower boundary limit and the upper boundary limit divided by 2. So this is 35 divided by 2. You know very well it is 17.5. So this is how we get the class marks. Okay, so why we do this? What is the necessity of finding this class mark? Here we assume that the entire frequency is concentrated at the middle of the class interval. Once again I am repeating. Here we assume that the entire frequency of the class is concentrated at the center. So we are finding here center. So this is 17.5 for the first class interval. For the second class interval also we have to do it in a similar way. So instead of doing it again and again, we employ an easier method here. So what is the length of the class here? 25 minus 10, it is 15. So simply we keep on adding 15 to the previous value to get the later value. So now for 17.5, if I add 15, so it will be 15 plus 17. So it is 2, then here it is 1, 32, 32.5, 32.5. Again add 15 here, 5 plus 2 is 7. So 1 plus 3 is 4, 47.5. So again if I add 15 here, 47 plus 15 it is 4, 5, 6, 62.5, 62.5. Add 15 here, it is 77.5 here. Again add 15 here, 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay. 7 plus 5, 12, 13, 132.5. So how many have been done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and it is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I have finished finding the values of xi. So this column has been completely filled. Now we'll go to the last column, that is fi xi. So here clearly it has been written as fi and here it has been written as xi. So now fi xi 2 into 17.5. So it is 35. You know very well it is 35. Again this 3 into this one. So 3 5 is 15. Okay. Point carry 1. 3 2 6 7. Then 3 3 is 9. 97.5. Again 7 times this one. 7 5 is 35. Carry 3. 7 7 49. 50 51 52. 2 carry 5. 7 4 28. 28 plus 5. It is 33 I hope. Okay. Then 6 times this one. 6 5 is 30. Okay. So 6 5 is 30. 0. Carry 3. 6 2 is 12. 13 14 15. Carry 1, 6, 6, 36, 37 it is. Then 6 times this one, 6, 5 once again, 30. So carry 3, 6, 7, 42 plus 3, 45. Carry 4, 6, 7, 42 plus 4, 46. In the same way, the last. Okay, students. See here, 6 into 77.5, it is 465.0. Now here we are having this last value, 6 into 92.5, 6 5 is 30, then you know 3, 6 2 is 12, 12 plus 3, 13, 14, 15, okay. Now 6 9 is 54, plus 1 is 55. A small mistake has been committed, my children, committed by me. In the earlier thing I have written some 132.5, so it is 92.5, please correct it. Okay, now this last column values also have been obtained. So here what we do is again we find the value of sigma fi xi, sigma fi xi. Okay, just we add all these values and here once again we write or we find the value of this sum of fi, that is sigma fi. Sigma fi is same as usual, as it has not been changed or nothing has been manipulated here. Okay, now here if we happen to find the value of this one, So this is some 1860 if you happen to add it. So you will get about 1860. Now again for frequency, nothing has been manipulated. So it is only for 30 students. Okay. So now I have got the values of sigma fi xi and the value of sigma fi. Okay. Now once again we'll go back to the formula. So what was the formula which we have discussed or learnt to find the mean here? Mean can be written as x bar, which is written as sigma fi xi by sigma fi. Okay. In the numerator we are having the value of sigma fi xi, and in the denominator we are having the value of sigma fi. So 1860 divided by 30. So very simple calculation. 0 0 cancel, and then 13 ones, 3 ones, 3 6 18. Then again this goes 2 times. So it is 62. So what is the mean value of mean which we have found? It is 62. So this is very simpler when compared to the earlier method. Okay, it was the mean for ungrouped data. Now here this is mean for grouped data. What we have done is we have written the class intervals. We have grouped the data, condensed the data. So now this one is very easier, as I told you earlier, when compared to the earlier one. Okay, thank you children. Okay children, we have learned how to find the mean for ungrouped data as well as for the grouped data. Okay, in the earlier class we have found the mean for grouped data, isn't it? So that method of finding the mean for a grouped data is called direct method. Once again I am repeating. So what is that method called? Direct method. So finding the mean for ungrouped data, as we have done in the earlier class, okay, that method, it is called direct method. So what is the formula? Try to recapitulate it. X bar is equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. So this is the formula to find the mean by direct method for a grouped data. Okay. Now again we are having few more methods. Okay. To make the problem easier and easier, we have all these methods. So one such method is called assumed mean method. Assumed mean method. Assumed mean method. Okay. So now we shall see how we can find the mean to the same data by using the assumed mean method. Okay. So all these columns are very much same or similar. So this one, it is class interval. This is frequency. Now here you know how we get this class marks, and then again how we get this fi xi. Now I am going to remove this column because there is no need of this column in this method here. Instead of that, we make use of two more columns. One is di, which we write it as xi minus a, and the last column is fi xi. Okay. Now we shall see how we are going to fill up this vacant columns. Okay. For this, we assume a particular value of the class marks as mean. Okay. Now see this, I write it as a. So this I call it as assumed mean. Assumed mean. Here once I am telling to you, we can select any such value as assumed mean. There is no restriction in selecting the value. Now here this column is deviation. It is deviation of these xi values from this assumed mean. So xi here is 17.5 for the first case. 17.5 minus this a, 47.5. So 17.5 minus 47.5 is 47.5 minus 17.5. What is that you are going to get here? 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. It is 30. So this is 30. But since we are subtracting from a lower value, higher value from a lower value, we write it as minus 30. Okay. Then for the second case, you see again 32.5 minus 47.5 here. So 47.5 minus 32.5. So what is it you are going to get here? See 5. Then again here it is 15. So again it is minus 15 here. You know very well that once again we are subtracting a higher value or larger value from a smaller value. So we are writing it as minus 15. Now here in this case this is xi. So xi minus a, it is 47.5 minus 47.5, it becomes 0. Now again this time this is xi. So this minus this. So what's that you are going to get? It is simply 15. Again from here if you subtract it, then you are going to get 30. So then again from this if you subtract this 47.5, how much you are going to get? It will be 45 I have. So this is how we have got the values in the column di, which is defined as di is equal to xi minus a. Now the last column, you just concentrate. We are having the values of fi here, okay? The values of di here. So multiply one with the other in order to get the last column values. 2 into 30, it is simply 60 with a minus sign. Then 3 into 15, it is 45 with a minus sign. Then 7 into 0 is simply 0. Then 6 into 15. So it is 90. Okay, 6 into 15, it is 90. Then again 6 into 30, it is 180. Then again 6 into 45, 6 5 is 30, 3 carry, 6 4 is 24, plus 3, 270. Okay, now add all this value. So for this we write it as sigma fi di, sum of the values of fi di. Okay, so now how to get this sum? First add all the positive values. So what are the positive values? 90, 180 and 270. So it is 0, 9 plus 8 17, 17 plus 7 24, then 2 carry, 3, 4, 5. It is 540. All the positive values are 540. What about the negative values? Add the negative values. 5 plus 0 it is 5. 6 plus 4 is 10. Okay. So from positive values subtract the negative values. So what's that you are going to get? 10 minus 5 is 5 and 3. Then 5 minus 1 is 4. So 435 is the value of, sum of fi di. Okay. So now we are having sum of fi di and we are having sum of fi, that is sigma fi. Okay. Now we are going to use the formula, another formula, to find the mean by assumed mean method. So now we will write the formula here. So mean x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. So try to understand the formula. Mean x bar is equal to, okay, x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi di, a plus sigma fi di divided by sigma fi. So now in the place of a we can write simply 47.5. So as we have assumed this to be the mean. Okay. Now again plus, what about the value of sigma fi di? It is 435. divided by 30. Divided by 30. Okay. Now find this value first and then add it to the assumed mean. Okay. Once again I am repeating. Find this value first. I mean simplify this first and add this value to 47.5. That is the assumed mean. So if you happen to find this value, so it will come out to be some 14.5. Then add it to 47.5. So this is what you get it as mean. So 5 plus 5 10. Okay. 7 plus 4 11. 11 plus 1 12. Okay. 1 4 plus 1 5 plus 1 6. It is 62 once again. So the mean by assumed mean method. Assumed mean method is 62. Okay. So you can compare the values which we have obtained. The mean we have obtained in direct method is also same as 62, and the mean which we have obtained in assumed mean method is also 62. Okay. I hope children you have understood how to find the mean in direct method as well as in assumed mean method. For you, I have already written a problem here for doing it as homework or assignment. I have given you here the data of number of days and here number of students. So this is attendance taken by a teacher for 56 days. Attendance taken by a teacher. Once again I am repeating. Attendance taken by a teacher for 56 days of 40 students. So 40 students. For this particular data, you find the mean by using direct method as well as assumed mean method.